So, welcome everybody to our new live show with Cdogg, me, and the hottest new freaking Georgia Tech YouTuber on the platform, Talk. How's
Good
it
to
going,
be here.
Talk? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, we're both absolutely stoked to be doing this show. We're going to do it probably every other week, is what we were saying. Just
Yeah.
Georgia Tech news and discussion, and there's no shortage of any of that lately. A lot of excitement around our program going on, and Rec Talk contacted me and asked if we could do this show, and I was like, hell yeah. And so we were thinking maybe every other Sunday in the off season, maybe every
Yeah.
week during the season, on Sundays at 8. Seemed to be a good time for both of us to do that. And during the season, hey, Sunday it's like right after a game. We may or may not be too thrilled about coming on after a game there on
We'll still be here though.
on Sundays. But yeah, it takes a special type of person to have to kind of put up with what we have been. So without any, all of that, we are freaking stoked to be doing this live show. We did one last week, and it was pretty successful, and we had a great time. And all of you were really, there's a lot of engagement and a lot of excitement about it. And so we were like, hey, we should keep this thing rolling. So
Absolutely.
we totally decided to do that. So
What do you want to jump into first, Cdogg? I mean, there's like 40 different things that have been going on.
So, man, that is a good question. There has been a lot. There's been transfer portal. There's been recruiting news, coaching hires.
Yes.
I would say chronologically, I guess, since we had talked to each other last, the big kind of thing was the coaching search, which is actually still ongoing. We still have an at-large for wide receivers coach and possibly tight ends coach if one of ours coaches doesn't take over that role.
Yeah, I don't know if Buster Faulkner is going to do that. I believe he coached tight ends at Arkansas State, but he's a quarterback kind of connoisseur. So I don't know if him and Winky are going to kind of share that, or I mean, do you have coordinators that don't coach a position? Usually your coordinator coaches a position.
Yeah, that was something I was wondering too, because I don't know if you're familiar with we had Coach Boogie, which I don't know if you had heard what Brett Key was saying. That's Jason Seymour, and he was very adamant about not calling him that and calling him Coach Boogie.
Okay.
So
That's reasonable.
in his press conferences, he was like, every time somebody called him Jason Seymour, he was like, no, that's Coach Boogie. So we had Coach Boogie take over as special teams coordinator. So I was wondering if that was going to be a position, because he was like the interim special teams coordinator, and I was wondering if that was maybe something. Oh, hey-o.
What we got?
What do we got here? Haynes King coming to Georgia Tech.
Woo!
Let's go. Let's go. Right off the bat, man. Right off the freaking bat with the show. We got some great news here. Haynes King is coming to the A.
So if you haven't, anyone who's watching, if you haven't watched film on this kid, because I know he struggled at Texas A&M, this kid is an elite talent. I was watching film on him. I saw him rolling out to his right, which is his throwing arm, throw across his body a 50-yard dime for a touchdown. The kid has incredible talent, and he's fairly mobile as well. This is a huge get for Georgia Tech, no doubt.
Oh, man. This is awesome. So, yeah, if you want to, I guess that would be a great topic to kind of start out with. Sorry, I had to switch the screen over for a second there. I was inviting somebody, a potential special guest, onto the show. But
Week 1, I like it.
Yeah, who knows if we may or may not have a special guest on tonight.
I think he might know more about that situation than I. So that would be great.
I do. So, and what do we have? So let me get this set up real quick. And
Okay.
why don't you give us your thoughts on this on Haynes King confirmed coming to Georgia Tech?
I am extraordinarily excited, and I'll tell you who he kind of reminds me of, and maybe I get slaughtered for the comparison, but his skill set reminds me of Drake May at North Carolina, a kid that's probably far more mobile than most, that has a ton of arm talent. Now, I did catch him in film, and I just looked at his high school film, some sloppy footwork, but very high ceiling with this kid. And the benefit of that is, we have another talented quarterback, I believe, in Zach Pyron. This gives him an opportunity to sit, really learn the system, really develop his skills before we throw him out there again. And remember, I mean, he had a pretty severe injury, to his collarbone or clavicle. So I don't even know if he'll be 100% for spring. So this is a really big deal.
It is. And speaking of really big deals, we now have an extremely special guest that we would love to welcome onto our first episode here, and it's going to be none other than Bryce Kuhn. What's up, man?
Oh my gosh! Oh my! Look, you caught me wearing a Mercer polo.
Oh man!
And and a red cup of hot cider here, but this is a Christmas themed, not any other type of red. So that's what we need. But where did Cdogg go? Am I missing him?
He's here.
Yeah,
I'm sure
he's here.
They can't hear
okay.
me.
No, look, I like what you said about Haynes King. I mean, look, at the very minimum, whoever starts against Louisville next fall will be better for this move, whether it's Haynes King or Zach Pyron. That's what you want. You want to have real competition.
Yes.
Hey, sorry about that.
I think I had a problem, for me in 2021 with, no disrespect to Jordan Yates, fantastic young man. Just he was not really going to push Jeff Sims. Was it Trad Beatty? Was not really going to push Jeff Sims. This year we saw a little bit more of it, but with that room, and even Zach Gibson, like we all dogged on him after the Virginia game, but we saw when you game plan for him, yeah, he's not going to be an all SEC quarterback, but can he manage a game? Yeah, I mean, what was his? I don't know if it was one of you guys that put it out there, but like someone put his QBR against North Carolina was the highest QBR or something like that out of any quarterback the whole season. And then against Georgia, he had a good one. So, another good one. So I think this room's starting to shape up, pretty well. And you get a guy in Haynes King who, look, if Chris Winkie, once again, no disrespect, if Chris Winkie can make Tyson Pumachan and Zach Gibson look respectable against the number one team in the country, think of what he can do with a talent like Haynes King. Has all the talent in the world. From what I've heard, it's just in between the ears. Can he put it together on the field? So that's and look, Texas A&M is a weird situation. There has been zero firm footing there for the past 2 years, in my opinion. Like, it's just kind of all over the place. Jimbo's an oddball, so Tech fans know that. Mm-hmm. So interesting. That's an interesting move for me.
And yeah, there's a lot of people I've seen kind of saying, well, what's the big deal? It's just Haynes King.
Yeah.
He was terrible at Texas A&M, but it really does depend on the offense. And Texas A&M was just absolutely loaded with for the past few years, one of the most talented teams in the entire country, with insane recruiting classes and everything. And thank you. He's my Ralph. He's my sidekick.
Yeah, Ralph's unfortunately not here tonight. Rec Talk, you need to get yourself a Ralph. You need to get yourself an intern.
Yep.
I'm going to post it on LinkedIn. I do, but she's 3. We'll see,
Yes. So, but yeah, it really is. And a lot of criticisms about Jimbo Fisher's offense was, is that it was too complicated and everything, and it didn't give his players the best chance he didn't, use his players to their abilities and stuff like that. And that's what I like about Winkie too, is he was smart about it, and he knew in those last 2 games he knew the strengths of Pumachan and Gibson and used those and somehow managed to win those games. And that is a really important quality that you got to have on a coaching staff, is knowing your players and knowing how to use them, knowing their strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that. So I don't think that I
don't get people throwing their hands up like, what's the big deal? I mean, Bryce, you would know better than me. I've watched the film on the kid. He is phenomenally talented. I don't know what to attribute his struggles to at Texas A&M, but what would you compare his skill set to?
I think, well, one, I think he's a really good runner. Like he's a really mobile guy, and not like he's a run first guy. He has the ability. I mean, he's a true dual threat guy. I think he's a little bit better, and just in my opinion, of a passer than Jeff Sims. Sims had a lot of arm talent. It just never really honed in on the accuracy. I mean, the game for me where it's like he got away with it this past year, and that's a whole other tidbit. Jeff Sims going to Nebraska, but the thing where he got was the Pitt game. Like Tech won that game, but there were so many instances where Pitt could have had like 3 interceptions that they weren't able to get. So, when I see King, Cdogg, I kind of go back to where you were saying of like, it was very complicated, the scheme. Okay, so you take that, and I'll say this, you're also playing at some of the better teams in the country week in, week out. So when you're playing in a complicated scheme and you're playing against Alabama, Ole Miss, Arkansas, like teams with really good defenses, like at LSU, all these other teams, that's hard. Like that's really hard to get your feet in. And you combine that with what we saw this year, which was, I'm telling you, what happened this year in College Station did not just happen this singular year. This has been something trending towards that direction. So I think that, his skill set is he's a guy that can run the ball. I think I'm going to say this, and this is just kind of like my raw, haven't unfiltered, which is what this show is, right? Raw and unfiltered.
Yes,
absolutely. This is two fans here talking, and so we got levels here. We got the complete fan, we got the alumni, and then we've got the professional, of course. But go ahead and say whatever's on your mind.
Something
for sure.
Like that.
Yeah,
I think when you look at how Stetson Bennett was used, that's how Haynes King can be used. King's a little bit bigger, I think, I think he's a little bit bigger. At least he looks bigger on film.
Well, there's a lot of players, bigger than Stetson Bennett, yeah.
But just the way the way they move him outside the pocket, like that excites me. Like no Tech fan is going to go want to watch Stetson Bennett's highlights. But if you peruse and you look, the way they move him outside the pocket and the way they did it against Georgia Tech in that game, I mean, I could see Haynes King in that way.
Yeah.
Especially with an offensive line that I don't think is going to be all ACC quality next year. I think it'd be better. And fans love to say, Bryce, you have to temper the expectations. Look, all this is fun. All of this is a lot of fun, but that offense line's got to be better. Yeah. And that's going to be the key for any conversations that we have up until, Labor Day weekend next year. But I think King's strong suit is his ability to run the football and create plays. But I think he's a little bit better passer than Jeff Sims. And if they can fix his throwing motion between Faulkner and have you guys seen this throwing motion? Like it looks like like Friday Night Lights movie edition. like One Tree Hill. That's what it reminds me of. The show One Tree Hill. And then throwing the football. It's wild.
Yeah, and that was something I was going to say too about the mobility thing, and that's what killed Zach Gibson so much. When he got his opportunity, is he couldn't move, and that as far as the offensive line goes, we don't have the best, to say the least. So to have that mobility is something that you really look for, in a Tech quarterback. And I do think the offensive line will improve. I noticed that once Brent Key really started hitting the recruiting trail, he was hitting offensive line heavy. It seemed like every screenshot that came out was him recruiting offensive linemen and trying to beef that up. So. And I do realize that a lot of our offensive line, it was like exclusively freshmen and sophomores this year, was it not? And so
there was one upperclassman.
It was Jordan Williams, right?
Jordan Williams, yeah. Sophomores and younger.
Yeah. So, I do realize it's pretty young, but yeah, I do have faith he will be able to beef up that O line. So yeah, it's a really exciting time. It's a really exciting time.
It is.
Another commitment just happened too, by the way.
Oh, really?
So,
Hit us with it.
a defensive lineman. Let me get to his name here. Shameik Jones out of Camden, South Carolina. 6'5", 260 pounds. Kind of an edge rusher. So another one. I mean, I'm telling you, by the time that this show's over, there'll probably be 3 or 4 more. Like, it's crazy.
That is awesome because okay, so I was gonna come into this show and I was gonna say, like, man, everybody, you included Bryce, and it seems like Kenyatta Watson was going on Twitter a lot and like hinting at everything, and I'm like, where's it at? I've been waiting all day for it, and so it came around time for the show, and I was kind of wondering, but no, this is fun. A live reaction, live commitment show. This is great. And by the way, Bryce, we were planning to do this for about an hour. You're welcome to go in and out whenever you need to, but it's freaking awesome.
Good. I might hop out here in a second.
Yeah,
because we got our 24/7 podcast that I got to hop on.
Oh, okay.
It's recorded, so it'll be fun. But yeah, no, I think I'll wrap it up here, just kind of with my final thoughts on this. I think that in the next 24 hours, you're going to see some more guys kind of follow. The linebacker from Minnesota. I know you guys are probably going to talk about this. Committed through the portal. I think that, just me personally, they're going to go 2 linebackers in the portal. Yeah. I think the second one is going to end up being the kid from A&M, that Andre White Jr. kid. Yeah. Sergio Allen, I think that he's looking for more consistent playing time. And I think this is what I like. And I've followed Cdogg more. I know Rec Talk, he kind of came more into the fray, at least just noticing and everything here recently. But I really just don't want to guarantee playing time to anybody. Like, just let the best 11 play. Let's just let it happen. Yeah. We kind of finally saw that this year. And obviously, I feel like that's kind of Key's mantra as well. Is like, I don't care if you are a 5-star, if you're Joe Fusel, which I was really hard on Joe Fusel at some points this year. But, I think let the best kids play. So it's exciting. And it's going to lead up to a Wednesday that's going to be just crazy. Like, I think you're going to see – and I'll say this as I leave. Watch out for this 4-star safety that committed to Auburn.
Yes.
Terrence Love.
That
kid is really, really good. Plays state championship quality football at Langston Hughes. And I know that he left. I talked with him today. He left Atlanta, Tech. He left Tech torn. Like, he was like, man, that was – like, the pitch that he got from Key was like, that was the different than I've heard from Georgia Tech in the past couple of years.
So can you speak to that really quickly? Like, you were on campus this season or this weekend. What was that like? How impressive were these pitches? What was the reaction of these kids?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is as the kids come out, they're like, that's not the same Georgia Tech that, Georgia fans bash on social media. Mm-hmm. Like, this is different. This is a little bit different. And I think it started – a lot of the kids said they took notice last game of the season. Because the North Carolina game, that's awesome. That's cool. But when they went into Athens and were like, a Dylan Leonard catch away from being up 14-0, certain things, they're like, whoa. And then to be able to kind of hear the vision that Key has. Like, that's been the whole thing is, and I told people this, like, when Key was announced as head coach, we were saying, oh, do you think he knows? I was like, yeah, he knows. Like, he knows who he wants. He's been drawing this out on the napkin, putting it on his bedside table, because every coach does that. If you get the job, who would you bring? Who would you hire? All these different things. So that's been the biggest thing is, like, he has this vision laid out completely from the way they want to practice, from, the way that he wants to conduct. I don't know what the specific kind of they're called, but just like sessions with like upperclassmen and younger classmen, like pairing guys together, making sure that just having that camaraderie, that chemistry that I think Key recognized that it would kind of had lacked with the lack of wins. And so that's one big thing. And then just the intensity that this recruiting staff is going after. I mean, to bring in a guy like Aaron Joe, huge, absolutely huge. The kid from Minnesota, his brother was roommates with Aaron Joe when Joe played. So like that, it's just different things like that. So you bring in a guy like Aaron Joe, who's well respected. He was in Alabama last year. I mean, Nick Saban was like, I just think the intensity these guys are attacking, it's just something we haven't seen. And it's one of those things where the kids walk out thinking and just have felt like, wow, like Terrence Love, for example, I can tell you kind of just, it's not going to be quoted correctly necessarily in the sense of verbatim, but in so many words, it's just like, I've known Georgia Tech. I go to Langston Hughes. Like, I know what they are and everything. But that's not the same school that's been recruiting. Like, that's not the same
Yeah.
staff. That's not the same
Yeah.
mentality that's been recruiting me. Like, this is a kid that was kind of dead set on Auburn. And for good reason. Go play in the SEC. Go play, they got exciting stuff happening down there with their new head coach. But all that to say is I think that's exciting. Like, as a fan to hear, wow, like the recruits are taking notice of this is just different. Like, it's not the let's go wear some cool denim and put some put some stuff on, and wear some stuff. But the kids liked it. And I think when you have so many kids visiting, it starts to drum up the interest. And I've said this multiple times. I think all it takes is for one or two of these kids, Haynes King, Terrence Love, some of these kids to commit, have some success. And the 2024 class, there's no telling. I mean, you really open the floodgates. If you win at Tech, you can do a lot of different things.
That's what I was going to say. And Britt Key now has what Jeff Collins never had. He has results on field. And we're only – and, we can build off of that because we have continuity now. So, yeah. I completely agree. Well, that's freaking awesome, Bryce.
Hope that answered your question.
Yeah.
That was a little long-winded.
We so appreciate
awesome.
Yeah, we so appreciate you coming on here, man. That it really is great. And of course, you're welcome on. I think I speak for both of us on for
Absolutely.
both of our
Absolutely.
channels anytime.
Well, we may have to do a live. We should probably. I don't know. I mean, I'm just spitballing this live on air here. A live signing day show on Wednesday night. That would be a lot of fun.
That would be
just
awesome.
Kind of recap
That would be
all
awesome.
the action. So maybe we can stream it to all of our channels on StreamYard, on whatever we can do or something like that.
That'd
But
be
it'd be a
awesome.
lot of fun.
We got the big three of tech on YouTube right here.
Shoot, you're not wrong about it. Appreciate y'all though. I'm gonna head out and I'll be watching the background. Thanks so much.
All right, Bryce, you have a good one.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, that Go Jackets podcast is a great listen too if you're a Tech fan. If you don't listen to that, it's on Spotify. The Go Jackets Online. They get a few of those guys together and talk about what's going on. And of course, they're all the insiders, so they got the info. Me and Red Talk here. We're the last to know. But
I'm just an idiot with a camera. But I'll tell you what, I am pumped.
I'm
right
pumped
now.
too, dude. Bryce got me pumped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we might even be surprised at who else we see commit. Like, this might kind of, be the start of like an avalanche of people that come in and start turning the tide here. It sounds like it's already turning.
Yeah. So I haven't acknowledged the comment section yet, and I'm sorry about that. For anybody that doesn't know, that was Bryce Kuhn, and he is a reporter for Georgia Tech. He's like the beat writer, media member for Georgia Tech, and so it is pretty big time that we got him to come in here and talk to us for a little bit. Me and Bryce and Rec Talk here, we're kind of the three content creators on YouTube, but Bryce actually is Bryce is an actual insider and.
Well, he gets paid to do it.
Right. We're doing this on our free time. So, well, hey, I'm actually getting paid now too. I made $1.60 the other day, man. I'm freaking stacking up paper.
You can get like a can of Diet Coke at the gas station.
I know, dude. I know. Freaking great. I can get a McChicken. So
nice. Well. Do you want to talk about Sims? Officially committed.
I do want to talk about that. I'll probably wind up making a video. I didn't have time before the show to do that. But yeah, I'll probably make a video on Jeff Sims transferring to Nebraska. It's confirmed.
100% official. Yeah. A good friend of mine who I think's watching the show called this like the minute he hit the portal, said he would go to Nebraska, and it ended up happening. So, I don't know. It kind of makes me think Collins will end up there too. I don't even know.
I thought that they had already hired a defensive coordinator.
But they could hire him as a positions coach or an analyst or whatever.
They need to hire him in recruiting.
He could be your recruiting and marketing guy.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it for all the, let's say, harsh words I've had for Jeff. There is a spot for him on your team. It's just not coaching football.
And it's not at Georgia Tech.
No,
I've changed my
no.
mind on this recently, and there has been some things I've discovered about Jeff Collins that is disturbing to me, and I would not want him anywhere near the tech program. He doesn't want to be near the tech program himself either.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. I mean, we won't go into it, but here's the thing. I don't think he's truly learned from the mistakes he's made and would make them again.
No,
100%.
yeah. So you would want, if you're thinking about Jeff Collins at your school, yes, he does have a place. Get him into the marketing and recruiting, like we've been saying. Don't have him handle anything on the field.
No.
Have him recruit for you. He does great at that.
Yeah.
He does great at relating to the kids. And that's about it.
Yeah, because I think he thinks like they do, so it's easy to relate.
So, real quick, oh yeah, but Jeff Sims, a lot of people are, besmirching Jeff Sims, laughing at him, saying, Nebraska sucks. They're worse than us, which they are actually worse than us. He did go to a team worse than us. But, listen, I'm done. I think in one of my videos, I was kind of venting about Jeff Sims and how frustrated I was at kind of how that whole thing went down.
Yeah, well, it's Bryce kind of talked about it because Bryce was talking about having competition especially in the quarterback room. When Jeff Sims was here, there was no competition. He was going to start no matter what he did or how he played, which is not a way to run a program. And let Rec Talk break something down for you. Okay, this is when I knew that he had the potential to be a really good quarterback, and I think he will be against Virginia. All right, he's facing cover 2, and he's got straight zone underneath. He's got a corner out going to his right side. He has pressure. He steps up. He splits the safety and corner coming off the right side, but he has to lob it over the linebacker. Those are big boy college football quarterback plays, and he was starting to make them before he got hurt. So, he can be a good quarterback.
Yeah. A lot of people say he sucks and whatever, but I'm telling you, the way he looked a lot better than he had this year than he did the previous 2 years.
Yeah.
He looked like,
especially when Key took over, and Key was hey, this ain't just your position safe, you got to prove that you deserve to be on the field.
Yeah, not even just that, but he got hurt all the time. Like,
he was very injury prone.
Hurt 2 years in a row. And so Nebraska will probably have to deal with that too, which is not – it just seems like there's some players that are like that, like Tua, Tua seemed to always be getting hurt. And I think Jeff Sims is like that. It's like a weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's such a tall, lanky guy. Like just – when people tackle him, they're taking shots hips and below.
Yeah. So I am going to miss him. And I'm not going to hold it against him that he transferred because it turns out he was actually just frustrated with the way that it was handled because he was made to, he was hurt and then he was made to dress out even if he wasn't going to be able to go in. And then everybody kind of blamed him and got mad at him when he didn't go in when we needed him. And so that's kind of why he transferred. So I don't know. But I do think Matt Rule is a great coach. And I think I think he's going to bring Nebraska back. So a lot of people laughing at Nebraska, they made a slam dunk hire. Matt Rule is a bona fide. I mean, he took Baylor from a 1-11 team to 11-1 in 3 years.
Yes.
And he's
2 10-win seasons at Temple. His last 2 years.
And so he's he's a great college coach. Not so much NFL, but
that doesn't work for most coaches.
Yeah, not even Nick
Either
Saban.
way.
Not even Nick Saban. So, not Urban Meyer. Yeah. So.
Oh man, don't bring that name up. Urban Meyer is the biggest garbage can human being on the face of the earth, man.
Yeah, and can you believe some people wanted him to take the tech job? Not that he would. But
people gave me crap for that because I said I would not be a Georgia Tech fan if we hired
hell
him.
no. Who would
I
want
would.
Urban Meyer as your coach? It's just so desperate and like.
Well, it's just mysterious medical issues. Like I guess they found Dr. House to treat whatever incurable disease he had. Then he ends up at Jacksonville. And I guess his leg's real healthy because he kicked that kicker. Like, it's just not something that you want near your program, man.
He leaves everywhere worse than when he got there.
Yeah, Florida, Ohio State, Jacksonville.
Ohio State actually wound up okay, but
they did. But like you take Trevor Lawrence, one of the most phenomenal quarterback talents of our generation, and you can't win hardly two games with him.
Yeah. So
sorry, I had to. I didn't.
Oh, good. No, I feel the same way. Urban Meyer sucks, and I specifically called it out like that. I did not want Urban Meyer to be the coach whenever we were looking for one. I don't think he'd come here anyway, which is just fine by me. So I want to do a quick shout out to the comment section real quick. We have. I'm gonna check this on my phone like an amateur, but
that's what I'm doing.
Rusty Hogan says, "I think West Virginia would be a good fit." Not sure what the comment, what the context is there, but Nerd Stop.
He's a big viewer on my channel.
That's your boy.
Appreciate you watching, man. Awesome.
Yeah,
he did fill up a girl at a bar. That's true. You're absolutely right. He'd end up at Claremont Lounge if he was here.
So we got Nerd Stop, Jackie Boy says, "What's the good word? You already know. To hell with Georgia." Traveling Fools, yo 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 yo. That's my man right there. Crowd of Boost says Hanks King just committed. We're very excited about that. I'll wind up making. I'm sure we'll both wind up making a video on that.
Yes.
Craven Moorhead, hey. Golden Blue Dude. Do Georgia Tech fans want West Virginia in the ACC? That's a whole can of worms.
No.
Right there. No.
West Virginia wanted to be in the ACC, and this is truth. They don't meet the academic standards to be in the ACC.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't want them coming over.
Right. So, yeah, sorry, Golden Blue Dude. You're the man, though. We should do a show together. I've known Golden Blue Dude since, for a long time.
Oh, is he West Virginia guy?
Yeah, he's a West Virginia
Oh, I'm sorry.
guy.
I just totally went. Anyway.
I'm sure he knows. But, hey, speaking of, he actually is the reigning Slob Olympics champion.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's going to change.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like,
white and gold. It's going to be white and gold dude bringing it home this year. It'll be.
I've already started working out, dude. I've cut 40 pounds.
Nice.
Like, it's.
Oh, yeah.
I ran a 4.35 yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jacob Watson. He says Hank King's not good. Who cares? He's a freaking Georgia fan. MG Conway, an Iowa fan, says, "Here I am. What's up?" That's pretty crazy. Got an Iowa fan in here.
Nice.
And a Georgia Tech show. I mean, hey, welcome.
All are welcome.
AIP Dog. That's my boy right there. Ved. Dirk. Andrew Emerson. We only had 2 scholarship QBs on the team, so we need whatever help we can get. I think we did pretty well landing a quarterback of a high caliber, and I agree. Look, we're not going to be – I mean, we are on the uptick, but we're not going to be – we're not going to get, Caleb Williams out of the portal. I mean –
No.
We're not even going to get what's another one? Like a lesser – like Spencer Sanders. We're not even going to get him. We're gonna get like a Haynes King that might need a little work, but
yeah, and we don't need the best quarterback talent out of the portal to do what we need to do, and I think King's a great get.
Yeah, I do too. I really do. I think I have faith in Winky that he's gonna develop him and bring him to his potential. I'm really excited. But we'll talk more about that. SEC Dog, John Burns, Kevin McCall. Go Jackets. Got some skilled players coming in. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. CJ, what's up, buddy? Mojo Productions, Bulldog JC. Okay, a couple freaking George fans in here. Sakura. And I think I'm about caught up here. Matthew. Jeff Collins sliding into Rules DMs with relentless effort.
Oh yeah, those are elite. That's
That is
elite DMs.
Buzz and Jacket, nice having GT talk even though season is over. Yeah, me and Rec Talk, I'm sure, I know for myself, and then I'm sure Rec Talk too, we're going to be making videos all off season. There is no off season on the freaking Cdogg and Rec Talk channel, okay?
No.
So,
in fact, I'm sure I'm probably going to do a video breaking down film on Haynes King.
Yeah. That's a great content idea because I'm not qualified to be doing that. And real quickly, we got True Seminole. That's my man right there. Java G. How Road. I'm just gonna run through the rest of these. Seminole Seth, Easton Von Schiss, Vix Barber, Cdogg 18. And that's it for the newcomers. So I am freaking stoked to have you all here. Hit the thumbs up for us. It really helps the stream along. And
doesn't cost a thing.
Doesn't cost a thing, and everything like that. I'm not used to saying it, but in the interest of my man Rec Talk here, I will go ahead and shill it out and ask you guys to do that for us.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna get this live show going and we're gonna have some great things. So, do we want to talk at all about some staff hires? Because that's been something that.
Let's talk about the most important one, Buster Faulkner. What do you think of that?
Yeah. So, the Buster Faulkner thing has been kind of weird with how Kirby wants him to stay. I really hope he doesn't do that.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
let me just read exactly what he said. I came prepared. All right. Kirby was asked about it. He said it's not something that pressing right now because he really doesn't need to do anything at practice. He said we're practicing right now, and he's a supplement to Montkin, and he can certainly still do that from the position he's in. We'll determine that at a later date. So I'm confused too. If it's in his contract that he's gonna still do some stuff at Georgia, why is that not being said? And if not, why would we allow that?
Right.
I don't get it.
We got recruiting to do. We got, we're busy right now. I mean, it's National Signing Day. We don't got time to worry about what Georgia needs. Okay.
Well, what is he going to do? He goes and recruits. Hold on a second. I got a game plan for
State. Are you kidding me? And he's the go-between between Stetson and Monken or whatever on game
I
day.
wanted to talk about that too. Does that not strike you as weird? It's almost like Bennett said that he's the go-between and that he doesn't really talk to Monken during the games, and that's probably a good thing, which I think is probably a bad thing. Why can your OC not talk to your quarterback? That's weird.
Yeah, it's funny to me. I was hoping that we could take them away and then they get in a fight and their offense sucks. That's what I was hoping. I mean,
that'd be great.
It would be great, wouldn't it? We cost them a natty. I would freaking love that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's is this some house of cards that Buster Faulkner is the bottom card that has to stay in place? They have Mike Bobo too, who for whatever reason they hated when he was their OC, even though he was averaging nearly 40 points a game. You got plenty of people. Leave Buster alone.
Yeah.
All right, he's ours.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta. I don't know. It's just a weird situation. It bothers me that that's even a question. Obviously, you have a job here where you're an OC. You need to be worried about us. Not. I mean, that would really rub me the wrong way if he were to do that. I don't get.
Would Kirby do that for us? You think if it were the other way?
Yeah. I'm sure. And they might come calling for Buster Faulkner if Todd Monken gets hired away. He was supposedly the OC in waiting. So
yeah, that's what I saw too.
So I don't know. I really
don't. I do think he's a very good hire. I looked at what he's done. I think it was Middle Tennessee State. He had the most prolific offenses they had ever had up to that point. Was very good at Arkansas State. I think he took over after Gus Malzahn, and I think he worked with our running backs coach, we'll talk about later, Norville McKenzie. They both worked at Arkansas State together and had they were 18th in the country in offense. The guy knows offense. This is a really, really good hire.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm happy with the hire. And one of the donors too was like, "Hey, if we get Buster Faulkner, I'll make a 6-figure donation." And sure enough, we
Where
did.
did you see that?
You didn't see that on Twitter?
No.
I think it was when Brent Key first got hired or something. The guy was like, "Brent Key, this is a great hire. If Brent Key is able to get Buster Faulkner, we need to get a good staff together. If he's able to get Buster, I'll make a 6-figure donation." And he did.
Oh
and
my God.
I'll see if I can find it and send it to you. But yeah, so pretty.
What
cool.
if we really got some money rolling in too? We get this thing going.
Well, apparently a lot of the donors were really big on Brent Key. So
Yes.
Look, I made a video the other day called "The Brent Key is hires working so far." I mean, it is everything as advertised, is not. I mean, I'm not used to this things going well. But look at everything that's been going on. The contract favors Georgia Tech. It favors the Institute.
He's the lowest paid ACC coach right now, I think.
Yeah, we were able to give him a bigger pool for a bigger staff.
$7.5 million,
Yep.
by the way.
And we were able to get a good staff in here. And recruiting is picking up, and this is great. This is great.
Yeah. I mean,
And
especially with quarterback. When was the last really good quarterback we had? Justin
Yes.
Thomas, and he wasn't truly a quarterback. He was
Yes.
a triple option system player. George Godsey,
Yeah. And
we are dying for that.
And since Jeff Collins took over, we never had a true quarterback competition. It was always Jeff Sims and the backups if he got hurt.
Jordan Yates.
And now we have 2 quarterbacks that are starting caliber. And I love it. I love Zach Pyron's hurt right now. He gets to heal and develop and grow as a quarterback, and I couldn't be more excited, dude. I mean, I'm stoked. Do you think I think I might have been Bryce, but I'm not sure. Mentioned even trying to get a second quarterback, but I don't know about that. To try to get one more, because we did have 4 this year, and it seemed to work out. But
the thing is, I don't know the math on our scholarships,
Right.
so I think it would depend on what we have to give and what we're able.
Well,
to get.
yeah, I knew that we weren't going to be able to get all of the linebackers that we wanted, or that we were thinking about, like Sergio Allen. If we bring in this guy from Minnesota, and then the guy from Texas A&M, then there's no room for Sergio Allen, even if he did want to come here. So I think we did have to choose between that. But no, I do think that it is possible that we do wind up with another quarterback. Although I like where our quarterback room is now. Depending on Pyron's injury status. Depending on that.
Yeah.
Because if he's not ready to go by this time, or by not this time, but by Labor Day next year, that's an issue. Because then we have Zach Gibson as a backup, and then we really only have 2 quarterbacks. And
and I guess that's the question: is Zach Gibson a serviceable backup? And I think he is.
I think he is too. Mm-hmm.
I think he showed that. I mean, if he can go on the road and beat North Carolina, and then
but I do think it's not ideal.
No, am I thrilled about it?
Yeah,
not necessarily.
But that's about as good of a backup quarterback as we're going to be able to have, and he can ball too. It's just the mobility. That's all it is. The mobility with him. So yeah, depending on that, we may or may not see another quarterback. Definitely not as probably high of a caliber as Haynes King. But who knows? Maybe after spring practice. Maybe that will be when we would see another one, or maybe even a commit.
That would probably be the best bet, I think, is to get a commit out of your recruiting class.
Although we do have a commit for next year, don't we?
2024?
Yeah.
He's like the number 19 kid in the country, and that's what got us excited about Winky. It's like, man, obviously he can coach. He was calling the plays the last 2 games, and he's going out and getting high caliber quarterback talent.
We didn't even have an OC at the time that he commended. We didn't have an OC
That's
or
true.
any other staff on the offense besides quarterback.
That was like the first thing Key did, wasn't it? It was like, I got good news and bad news. Long. Bad news is you got to go.
So this is an interesting thing that I thought of today. It's a good problem to have, but I wonder if Winky, winds up getting poached from us.
It would be to elevate, I would think.
Yeah, for sure. But that could be the good job he's doing. Not this year, I don't think, but next year, I think that would be a real possibility of Winky getting poached, which would make me sad, because he's an FSU guy. I don't know what their situation is, but it's not like he's married to Tech or anything like that. So I don't know.
No. FSU's coordinator was an offensive lineman for him, I think, and he's relatively new, so I don't know.
Yeah, so that's kind of the word on the staff, and then we also did have that linebacker. You know what? I'm gonna click over to Twitter and refresh and make sure that we don't have any recruits.
Is there any other news
that have committed? I'm gonna check that real quick. Yeah. But what do you think about this linebacker from Minnesota that we had coming in the transfer portal?
So I don't know much about him. He's from Douglasville, Georgia, which not far from us. He was an 85, so kind of a middle of the road 3-star. But he's big, right? What's his metrics? He's 6 what?
I did not see that. I did not see that.
What is his name?
I did not see that either. But all I've seen is flooded with just Haynes King, all of this. And then we have this defensive lineman commit, Shamik Jones. So hell yeah, stoked.
Braylon Oliver is the linebacker.
Yeah, Braylon Oliver. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Let's see.
Yeah, we're looking at big. We've been teased all weekend about this apparently exciting new recruiting thing that's going to be popping off, and it's just going to be and we've been waiting for the shoe to drop, and now we're kind of caught off guard a little bit during our live show. But no, I don't see anything else as far as commitments go. It's just exciting.
He's 6'1", 235, so decent sized guy. But I tell you, I'm excited. What Bryce said about these kids kind of turning heads, coming to Tech, and man, I don't know how sure I am in my commitment now to these other schools. We haven't seen that.
Yeah, Terrence Love. I've been following his recruitment lately because they've been talking about us being able to flip him. And he's good, a good safety. And I was looking at that Braylon guy, and he actually lost his starting job at Minnesota this past year. He played, I think, the first part of the year and then lost his starting job. So not really sure if we're needing him for depth or to look. But he is old. He is he I think was a commit freshman in 2018.
Is he older than Stetson?
No.
Okay.
No way. But he's 2018. That's pretty old. So that's 1 or 2 years of eligibility left. So.
Yeah.
But
it's weird with the COVID year stuff. I can't really keep track of people's eligibility anymore.
Yeah, I can't either. It is confusing. And we also had news the other day that Dante was coming back.
Yes.
Which I kind of saw coming. So that wasn't really breaking news to me. At least.
Which that came right after we named McKenzie the running back coach, right?
Yep.
It followed was it the same day or the next day?
Yeah, you're right.
But that's huge for us too. I think Dante Smith is a very talented running back. He's very fast, and I think he has good running back IQ. When you see, hitting the hole and knowing where to go. Look at who's this kid that's lighting it up for the 49ers? Right, Mason.
JP Mason, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I think, see what McKenzie can do with him. I look for him to have a big year next year, especially if we can really start developing our offensive linemen.
Yeah, he's yet to really, truly break out. Last year he was behind, obviously, Mason and Gibbs. And then this year, I don't know what it was. He was supposed to be RB1, but I was not happy. I was not happy or impressed with our running game this year very much. And something that we're kind of really lacking, especially with Nate McCollum gone now. We're lacking like a true weapon on the offensive line, or on the offense, not the line, but on the offense. But I said that going into this year too, and we had Nate McCollum break out. So who knows?
I think that Blackburn could be that guy too. Blackburn's very talented.
Yeah. I thought it could be Malachi. I thought it was going to be Malachi Carter because he had a great year in 21, but not. He was kind of he didn't have as much of a good year as this year than last year. So I don't know what was up with that. He's graduating though. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, him and Jenkins.
Yeah, so we're losing them. And running back is something that we got to shore up. And
so we lost McDuffie, and I don't know that anyone's necessarily heartbroken. He's entering the transfer portal. So what is our running back room now? We've got the kid out of Langston Hughes.
We got Felix. Dante. We got Felix, and that's all I know of unless we have some commits or something.
There's another because we signed 2 last year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
One of them lit up Buford.
Is it Moore? Is his name Moore? I forget.
But
yeah,
so.
I know who you're talking about. So yes, okay. So we do have 3. 2 of them are really young. One of them an experienced kind of.
They'll be redshirt freshmen next year.
Yeah.
Antonio Martin.
Actually, I think Felix actually burned his red shirt in the Georgia game.
Did he play? Well, you have to play 4 or more games, did he?
I think he did. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, so he did burn his red shirt. He played in 5 games, which was weird because they were saying, like, the Georgia game burned his red shirt, and they were like, it was a weird decision, but he wanted to play and burn it, so I don't know. But
okay.
But yeah, we're gonna be looking, and we're gonna need a weapon on the offense. And as much as I love Chase Lane and everything, would he be that guy? He's definitely experienced. He's been there for a long time at Texas A&M, but he's obviously transferring out because he wasn't getting playing time. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering who's going to be that guy. I'm hoping it's Leo because I was very excited in the Duke game when I heard his name called. I was like, no way, they're playing Leo. Oh, man.
And he caught that sick touchdown where his left arm's getting held, and then he catches it falling down with his right.
Yes.
He's another kid that's been very injury prone, and if he can stay healthy, he's going to be very, very good.
Yeah. So I completely agree. So we're going to be looking out for that. Hopefully, it's somebody that breaks out, and we are surprised, or maybe we kind of look into the portal. I know that there's tons of running backs in the portal, and I imagine that we're going after one.
With McKenzie, he's already offered like 2 or 3 kids since he's been there. I think I know 2.
Yeah. Now another thing, do we look at a punter?
I tell you, Shanahan's been like the tale of 2 cities a little bit, and really on the worse end most of the time. Like one thing I've noticed is it takes him forever to punt. I feel like,
and it's so low off the ground, and it makes me so nervous. I don't know if you notice, compared to other kickers, he lets the ball drop like almost all the way to the ground, and I don't know.
And he doesn't seem to have awareness. Like as a punter, you do need to be able to feel like, oh, I'm about to get the punt blocked. I need to hurry. Even if it only goes 30 yards, it's better than getting it blocked.
Yeah, and then other times he'll outkick the coverage and get us, and have him run it back on us. So that I don't know. I would like another punter.
I would too. I think we've seen what we're going to get out of Shanahan.
That's a huge downgrade from Presley
Harvin.
Yeah. Presley Harvin was amazing.
Well, we needed the best punter in the country because we punted a lot when he was there.
I miss him, dude. He was great.
Yeah,
and they need to give Gavin Stewart a scholarship. I mean, what the hell?
Did he miss?
Did he miss? I think he might have missed like 1.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He might have missed like 1 or had it blocked or something. It probably was. He
was clutch though.
He was. I mean, he needs a scholarship. Give that man a scholarship. I was gonna make a video about that too, hollering about how he needs a scholarship.
He needs one. You're right.
Scholarship. Get that man a scholarship. Gavin Stewart. he was a beast this year. I mean, Harrison Butker Jr.
Yeah.
freaking was a beast for us. He was totally automatic.
Yeah, very consistent.
I don't know. It's been an hour. Are you wanting to get out of here or what?
It's whatever you want to do. I can stay on. Like I don't have anything going on. Or we can end it.
Is there anything else for us to talk about? Anybody in the comments got any questions for us? Here, I'll check the comments if any of y'all have any questions.
Let's pick some questions out.
We've kind of bounced around ideas of how to kind of get the people involved too. That's what we're all about. So I don't know. We've had a good turnout for this show, and for our first show. So I'm really thankful to you guys for showing up and helping us out and everything. It's been fun.
For sure.
It's been fun, and we freaking had Bryce Coon on here too. Man.
Is King or Pyron gonna start? I think it would be King.
It would be King.
If Pyron is healthy.
Yeah, because Pyron, as good as he was, he's just young. He's just young, and we've done the young quarterback thing for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I don't know how much, It depends though, What if he actually wins the job? I don't in like camp or something. I don't know, but I think it's gonna be King.
No, it's definitely gonna be King. And I also want to thank Nerdstop. I have worked years on my Jeff Collins impression, so I appreciate you liking it.
Man,
yeah,
that is so unfortunate that we had Jeff Collins as our coach for so many years.
Well, I feel like I missed the boat on my channel because what I would have done is like a parody press conference every time, which I could just copy and paste. It'd be the same.
I actually was planning on doing that for the Duke game or something, but he got fired before then. But I was totally planning on doing that, like I was gonna do a leaked press conference, and where he's like, not the result we want. Obviously, not the result we want. Oh, and he has, after a terrible loss, he has his like he'll have his hat down here, like in shame.
Yeah,
which is really funny, and he'll be like,
Well, his last game, I think he was crying. I think he knew he was going to get fired.
Yeah.
He didn't want you to see the tears.
It's like, obviously not the result we wanted. But you got to understand, Duke is elite, and they played at a high level, and just hats off to them. They gave us all we wanted. Just hilarious.
Yeah, we get beat by Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give it. They have an elite quarterback.
They played at a high level.
I thought we had a really good game plan. I don't know why I would admit that, because I'm pretty much saying I'm an idiot by saying I had a good game plan. It's like, man.
Yeah.
But
man, that is funny.
That's okay. Glad he's gone. And I don't know how his contract's structured, but if he does get hired, I think his buyout is reduced by his new contract.
I would love that.
Pay him 11.37, baby. He's worth it.
I would love that, dude. I would love if we could get away with not paying him everything, because he doesn't deserve it. He got one over on us, that's for sure.
We've been hoodwinked.
I know.
He hoodwinked us.
I know, dude. I know. So, but I'm not seeing any questions or anything for us. They're kind of just talking to each other.
Is there any? There's Bulldog JC. You got some Bulldog guys in here?
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of my subscribers are Bulldog fans.
So I did want to say something to those guys. There's been people chirping at me in my comments section, some of these Georgia, and I'm not talking to all Georgia guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've been successful on the football field, but here's the thing. All right, you see this box of cigars? I was like $400. Didn't make a dent. I'm winning at life.
Damn.
Didn't make a dent.
Damn. That's awesome. Flexing on them. That's about all we can do, isn't it? I don't know. I'll find anything I can. I don't care if they freaking throw an incomplete pass. I'll find anything I can to make fun of them.
Yeah, the first incomplete pass. They're
Oh wow,
garbage.
they're trash. Wow. Yeah, you give them more credit than I'm ever willing to. I never say anything positive about them whatsoever. So I'm always like, wow, no, they're terrible. I mean, they suck. I mean,
Well, I got to
they
go back
suck.
and visit my parents that are close to Athens. I don't want to get mauled.
Yeah, yeah. So this guy KK Alec wants us to do some more impressions. I don't know.
Do you have someone specific you want an impression done of?
I have a video where I don't know if you watch. I don't know if you watch the other YouTubers, but I have a video where I did impressions of Carolina Jackpot and Big Dog Brett. And,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so KK Alec, if you're looking for some impressions, then I don't know if you watch those two guys, but I did impressions of them.
We did Collins already.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
did
let me
Collins.
tell you something. If you want to do Collins, you just need to know like 3 words.
Yeah, elite.
Just say,
at a high
something
level.
something elite, something
Yeah.
something high level, something something consistency.
You got to talk
and just
in a Batman voice. And,
yeah,
all right.
throw out any common sense you
Yeah.
might have. You know,
Yeah.
that's
We
how
play-
you do that one.
We played an elite. I'm proud of the guys, the way these guys fought.
Yeah,
And,
when we got beat 42-0, I mean,
yeah.
I was proud of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously not the result we wanted. Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
Jeff. Obviously.
Does you didn't need to say that. I wasn't wondering. Like, I wonder if this was the result he wanted. Thank God he said that.
Hey, you wouldn't be able to tell by the way that we were playing. We've been playing, so. But yeah.
Well,
no.
if you want to know how to start a chainsaw, watch him shake hands with that Narduzzi guy. At Pitt.
Oh man,
It's a good.
You
pulled
know,
it
my
out of there.
my first video ever. To think I was defending him on that. I was like, "Fuck Narduzzi." His players
went
were
for it on
starting
two.
fights, and that game was rough. Do you remember they were starting fights and like they
Yeah.
were. I don't like Pitt, man. They're dirty. They play so dirty, man.
So okay, I do want to ask you this: who's your least favorite team, and who's your favorite SEC team? If you had to pick one.
So well, obviously my least favorite team is Georgia, and it's
We'll
not
throw them out.
it's not close, but yeah, I'll throw them out. And the answer actually, well, I do a video every year before the season called "Teams I Want to Beat the Most," and that team changes. And I would say that my second most hated team actually changes a lot but it's usually Miami or Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough
But
one to
I would
choose.
probably have to go with Miami. But lately it was Pitt. Going into the 2021 season, it was Pitt. Going into this season, it was Miami. And of course, neither freaking season we beat them. That was my number 2 team. I put Georgia at number 0, and then I put the other team at number 1.
Oh, by the way, someone told me we had never beat Kirby. We did his first year, by the way.
Yeah. Obviously, don't know what they're talking about. A lot of people beat Kirby his first year. Pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Vandy?
Oh yeah, Vandy and everything. Yeah, we got to get back to that, man. We got
What?
to get back to that. But
beating them.
but yeah. So right now, I would probably say my second most hated team is Miami. I think.
All right. And
Um,
favorite E SEC?
Which, speaking of which, I want to give a shout out to my man Coach Coop. I don't know if you know him or not. He's a big YouTuber on here.
I
And
saw.
He came out with this video yesterday. I don't mean to bring us down or anything, but it really disturbed me. He had his brother pass away, and man, Coach Coop needs our prayers and everything right now because he's going through a tough time, and I feel so bad because he's my friend. Like I met him in real life and had a great time with Coop, and he's a really good dude, and I feel so bad for him. So I don't know if you want to. I don't even know. I don't even know what to do for him. I mean, obviously he just needs space for right now. He's not going to be doing YouTube for a while, but I just wanted to mention Coop because that is something that has been on my mind a lot lately. Since I saw that video, that was very sad. So I wanted to give a shout out to him. I wanted to do that and give a shout out to him. I love you, Coop, and I'm pulling for you, man.
Absolutely.
So, I'm sorry. What was the question?
No,
I just
your
needed to
favorite.
know.
No, yeah, absolutely. Heart goes out to that guy. I
Yeah.
saw the video too,
Mhm.
and it really did break my heart.
Mhm.
Favorite SEC team?
Okay, so I this one is tough for me too, because I for a few different things, like as far as the team that beats Georgia the most, it would be Alabama, and obviously they have Jameer
Yeah.
Gibbs, so I love that, and I love how much they beat Alabama, and then there's Tennessee, which my wife's entire family's Tennessee. I have a special fondness for mostly SEC East teams because I'm cheering for them every year. I mean, I got a damn hat rack full of hats, for God's sake.
You do.
And I have every SEC East team, and just my entire life when I've been cheering for Georgia, I've always got along with them. I love them, and they love me, and everything. So I
Okay.
do have a fondness for SEC East teams, but especially Tennessee, because my wife's entire family is Tennessee fans. I'm always up in Tennessee, and a lot of my friends are Tennessee fans, so I do like them. But also Florida, because as far as Florida versus Georgia Tech, well, it makes it easy because Georgia Tech owns Florida, but we also never play them, and
Yeah, that helps.
we hate the same teams. They hate Miami and Florida State and Georgia, and so that's all right by me. And I think if if I was to ever, I would have a tough time choosing between Tennessee or Florida if I was to ever have to cheer for one of those teams.
So it's interesting you say that. For me, it's either Miami or Florida State, just because of the interactions I've had with their fans.
Your most hated team?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I left the Miami game, we talked about it on the last show, but this guy basically called our stadium a high school stadium and was trashing on Atlanta, even though
At least we have
like,
one.
yeah, like where would I rather go? Like
Yeah.
the middle of nowhere or Miami. It's the middle of nowhere, 100%. And then he said, we'll definitely take care of Pitt. So, and then when we blocked that kick against Florida State and ran it back in like 2015, these girls were taught, that little spiral thing in the middle of campus. It's like an engineer thing. They were talking about pissing in that. I was like, oh, that makes, yeah. I was like, go back to Tallahassee.
Gross. Man.
But definitely my favorite SEC team is Tennessee because Rocky Top is a jam.
That is a jam. I love that song.
I can listen to it all day.
I do love my old Rocky Top. I really do love Tennessee and their fans and their fan base. I'd probably be a Tennessee fan if I was a Georgia Tech fan just because of that. But I really do also love Florida. I was a huge Tim Tebow fan when I was a kid.
Okay.
Too. So I don't know. And then it's funny because they hate each other. So. Like, if I was a Tennessee fan, like, I would have a hard time hating Florida. I don't know, just because I'm not a Tennessee fan. And I don't know.
Which, watch out for that in the Slob Olympics. I've been working on my Tebowing.
There you go. That's funny.
It's going to happen.
That is funny. I guess.
What would prevent Key from being the greatest Georgia Tech coach ever? Not winning.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's got a long way to go. Here's hoping he's the next Dabo and the greatest Georgia Tech coach in history. Because Dabo was an interim coach, wasn't he?
Dabo was, yeah. Well, I mean, look, dude, Key's a great coach. We're going to be good. All right, I have no doubt.
I think his floor is going to be. He's going to raise our floor. I don't think that we're going to be missing bowls anymore. And I don't, including this year. I think we'll have about 6 or 7 wins this year. And I don't know. I'm a homer. It's hard to be a homer when you keep going 3-9. But I really do tend to look on the bright side of things, and I'm like, hell yeah, we're gonna kick your ass. So I don't know.
We're gonna make a bowl next year.
Yeah, we're gonna make a bowl. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's not like we're starting over. Like, one of the advantages to hiring Key was the continuity. So we're going to build off of this past year, which we barely missed a bowl. If he had been at the helm from the beginning, then we would have, made a bowl.
We would have. We'd beat Central Florida.
And, who knows? Who knows what kind of year we could have had if Jeff Sims had never got hurt? I mean, we would have
That's
beat
true.
Virginia. Probably would have beat Miami.
What will you do if we beat Georgia next year?
I've thought about that. I have a lot of ideas for videos if we beat Georgia, but it'll be the first time in my lifetime I would ever see us beat them at home.
99 was the last time, I believe.
So I was alive, but I was, so I don't really count that.
I'm a little older than you, so I remember it.
I count. I don't really count 98, 90. I know we beat them those years, but that is kind of irrelevant to me. I've seen us beat them in 2008, 2014, and 2016. And I was actually at that 2016 game.
Out-coached them.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Flat out coached them. Well, yeah, look at the talent they put in the NFL on the teams that we beat, and we did. That's coaching.
Any time we beat them, it's out coaching.
So yeah, we haven't beat them with talent in a long time.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So
I know what I'm doing. I'm driving to Athens right after the game. I'm leaving Bobby Dodd. I'm driving to Athens. I'm probably going to get arrested.
Flag. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
I've got several video ideas for if we were to beat Georgia. That would be the day. I would run their fans off the internet. As much shit as they give me, they better hope we never beat them, because I will literally never leave them alone.
We would just do like a 24-hour stream just talking mad trash.
I've got a long list. Yep.
All right.
I got a long list. So great questions. Great questions. This is fun. I hate that we're doing this after the season's over. Because this past season was such a roller coaster. Such a huge roller coaster it's been.
Georgia Tech facilities are trash. The truth hurts from Savage Dog.
Facilities? What do you know about our facilities? I don't know I have the best, but I mean, they're not trash. What's wrong with you?
They're definitely not trash.
Our weight room could use improvement. Our weight room could use improvement.
Well, we just raised $150 million to
so
do a new project. Yeah. See if I can find another one.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're going to regret being too cheap to go after Dion. I've made my feelings about Dion clear. Did you know that the reason he's filming literally everyone he talks to on campus is because he's doing a reality show that's going to be on Amazon? It
really?
is. It premieres the 29th. Dude.
I'm going to watch that.
I'm 100% going to watch it, but I'm like, why is no one out there? Like, I can't find anyone criticizing that's like, this is quite bizarre. Like, maybe he'll be a great coach, but what is any of this? How does this improve your team?
I was saying this on the ACC show the other day, and I will admit he was in my top list of candidates just because I thought it would be awesome. And it would be exciting. Can you imagine if he had actually come to Tech and we were like getting these recruits and stuff, and everybody was talking about us in the country? Like, that would be very exciting.
It would be, for sure.
But the reason we didn't hire him, besides, I know that he was concerned too about the academic requirements, which is something that we really don't like to talk about, but it is a reality. I hate talking about the academic requirements, but
it's something you've got to consider.
It is a reality, and I think that was a concern of his and probably kept him from coming here. But we also were weary because we just hired a Deion Sanders. Not to the level, but Jeff Collins was all hype and no substance. So I'm not saying that that's what Deion is, but we were worried that that was what it could be. And we'll find out. Yeah. Colorado's the guinea pig, but we weren't going to have it be us.
Well, and people are saying it's like a foregone conclusion he's going to be a great coach at Colorado.
Right.
That ain't the he has 2 years or 3 years of experience in college coaching.
And just because, he's going to recruit great, but just because look at Texas A&M,
It ain't the whole story.
He'll probably win more than one game out there.
Well, that is the nice position he's in, is like he's not going to do any worse than they've done before. That's for certain. I mean, especially with the talent that he's going to bring in. I just thought it was hilarious that he hadn't met the kids and said, "You need to transfer. I hate you. I don't want to look at you anymore."
Yeah. So I don't know. They're the guinea pig. It's not going to be us. And to be honest, just because of my fandom, I hope it fails because then I would be mad that we didn't get him.
Or you would feel vindicated in us not getting him?
Yes, I would. I would.
I don't know if I hope he fails or not. I think he might, which is something no one seems to be talking about.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I stand on that. I mean,
Colorado will win more games than Georgia Tech. Savage Dog is savage, man. I don't know that that's true either, though.
I don't either. And besides, we have a harder schedule than Colorado. We have a much harder schedule than Colorado. So, you can try to compare the two if you want, but, we play a really tough schedule.
They changed some of their academic requirements, too, the minute he stepped in.
They did, and some guys were saying, well, Georgia Tech could just do that. You just lower your academic requirements. And I was trying to explain to them, it's not that simple.
Well, it takes a minute, I think, because what they did is they changed what they would accept in transfers as far as classes. But, the easiest major at Tech is management, requires Calculus 1.
Right.
So that would kind of be you would have to create a completely new department that doesn't exist.
Yeah. And the Board of Regents or whatever that's run by, Georgia grads. You think that they would, we got to get approval from that board to be able to lower our academic requirements. So, I don't.
No, I agree. This one guy asked, let's see, I can't see it 100%. Do you guys think Tech wanted other candidates over Key? Obviously,
yes.
Or they would have hired him the minute he stepped off the field at Georgia.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's obvious, and I think. I was going to make a video about that too. Did Georgia Tech settle for Brent Key? That's coming too. But yeah, that it is clear that J.
I don't use Cash App, by the way. I'm not, but $100 wouldn't make a dent. I can tell you that.
$100 on what?
Will Tech win more games than Colorado?
That's tough. I don't even know what Colorado's schedule is. But I know that we have a tough schedule. We're going to win about 6 or 7 games next year. So can Colorado get to 6 or 7 games? I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah, I'll have to look at their schedule.
I mean, they play probably 3 FCS teams and a group of, or a group of 5 team or something. We're out here playing Ole Miss in our non-con. And, come on. We don't even have an FCS team scheduled next year.
I think Seminole Seth agrees with us. He doesn't want Prime to do well either.
Well,
he's tired of hearing about
it. Yeah, they have a funny relation. The Florida State fans and everything, they have a bit of a riff with Deion Sanders. That's pretty funny. The drama with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he had to get a degree first. I mean, that was one thing he had to do.
Yeah.
Because you have to have a degree to coach.
Right.
College football, and some universities you have to have a master's degree.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. So very interesting. For sure. So, do you have anything else? It's not that we couldn't afford other people. We could afford Jamie Chadwell. To this guy's question, he was asking if we couldn't afford him. Yeah, we could afford him. Now, there is a question of if we wanted to, because Bill O'Brien, I know we were looking at him, which I'm glad we didn't hire him. I didn't want him.
Not impressed with Bill O'Brien.
But he wanted like $6 million. Can you imagine the gall of Bill O'Brien to be making demands when he doesn't? He's about to get fired, and he's
thinking about his buyout money.
Yeah, I mean, wow. So
and I think it's telling. Why didn't Auburn, Nebraska, Wisconsin, none of these other D1 programs hired Chadwell?
Nobody.
I think.
Oh yeah, Chadwell. Well, we didn't bring Chadwell not because we couldn't afford him. In fact, it was looking like for a while it was going to be a done deal. But we were looking at Chadwell, but we told him he couldn't bring his entire offensive staff, which was a misstep in my opinion on J-Bat's part. Now the Brent Key hire is turning out well, but at the time I was pretty irritated with that. I don't know why he would not allow Chadwell to bring his staff, but
maybe he wanted to retain Key.
He probably wanted to retain Key. That would be my thought too. But I don't know. There's no way to know because remember in the introductory press conference, somebody Kelly tried to ask him that, and he was like, "I'm not even answering the premise of that question."
Why did you hire Key, and what was your conversation with other candidates? And Cabrera was like, "I'm just not gonna talk about that." He said, "I'm not even gonna address this question."
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. He wouldn't. Why would we ever say, "Yeah, oh, we really wanted someone other than Key, but we settled on this idiot"?
I guess you gotta. I guess you gotta ask. I don't know what you're expecting as an answer, but I guess I respect the hustle. But
yeah.
I don't know, man. That was pretty crazy. But yeah, I don't think we couldn't afford another candidate. I just didn't think we're not going to pay.
We had to hire the right candidate, though.
Yeah,
That's the thing. We can't afford because, with our basketball team, we were paying 2 or 3 coaches at one time on basketball that ended up killing us. Because when Paul Hewitt took us to a finals, he ended up being garbage. After that, we signed him to a major deal. We were still paying him when Paul Johnson was coaching football.
For sure. Savage Dog thinks he says Colorado wins 6 or 7.
Let me pull up Colorado's schedule, dude.
I know exactly how many we're going to win. We're going to win 6 or 7. I don't know how much Colorado is going to win. If you're saying he'll win 6 or 7, then why would you bet on that? Unless you just think Key is going to win whatever. But he won 5 games, he won 4. But
so they open up with TCU,
loss.
Then Nebraska.
That's probably a loss too.
Then Colorado State, probably win that one. Yeah. I'll give that one to him. Arizona State, that's not necessarily a given.
Arizona State, they have a new coach too.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. They probably win that one.
Arizona will probably beat them.
Oregon State, loss.
I don't know how good they'll be. They had a good year though.
Well, they beat the brakes off Florida, didn't they?
They did, but a lot of the times those lesser teams, the next year they'll fall off because all those players go to the draft or something.
Which, did you see that field goal they kicked under a minute left to make it 40-3?
Yes.
And Pat McAfee was just talking trash the whole time.
Yeah, I did see great. That was funny. Bowl games so far have sucked. Stanford, that's probably a win. Stanford sucks.
USC, loss. Oregon, loss. UCLA is a tough team.
Yeah, that's a loss.
So let's see. Can I find 6 wins on their schedule? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You say they go 1-1 in the Arizonas, Colorado State.
I see 5 that I think they can win. 6. It's not a foregone conclusion they win 6 games, though, looking at the schedule. Yeah. Utah's really good. They got to play them at Utah.
Click and Bait Dude says he thinks we're going to go 6-6. Wasn't Key the 13th choice? When your source is Uncle Lou, yeah. But if your source is, I don't know. I'm not going to lie. He was not the first choice for J-Bat. No. J-Bat didn't want Brent Key.
Well, I think J-Bat was looking to make a kind of proven
hire. They brought in a new athletic director. Usually when that happens, you don't just promote the interim. He was looking for a fresh start. But the candidates weren't. I would have loved Matt Rule. I was big on Matt Rule, but
it would have been a decent hire. For sure.
Yeah. But I am happy with Key. The players are playing for Key. Every time Tech has had a coach the players love, they win 8 or 9 games in their first season. Yeah. Georgia Tech would go 12-0 with that schedule.
Totally reasonable.
Totally. Yeah.
His buddies with Jeff.
Yeah.
Matt Rule, I think he is buddies with Jeff. That's what I'm saying with it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up at Nebraska, and if he hasn't. If you follow Collins on Twitter, every kid that enters the portal are decommits.
He reads Does
Yeah.
he retweet decommits too?
I think. Don't quote me on
I
that.
thought it was
but
just
it
transfer
wouldn't-
portal players.
All right, could just be transfer portal players, but
That is funny.
Jeff doing us dirty. He said he loved us, man.
He's a snake oil salesman. A snake oil salesman. That's for sure.
See, and I want to address this too. Hey, I want Georgia Tech to be better. It makes the rivalry more interesting.
Yeah.
Until we beat you.
I get that a lot. Yeah.
They didn't feel that way when I was there at half
Right.
this year.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah. They're just spoiled rotten. I don't want to hear it. I hope they suck forever. I hope we just destroy them every year. That's what I hope. There are some Georgia fans that are nice to me on here, like Colby. I like Colby.
Yeah, I have seen Colby's nice.
Colby's cool. I like Bulldog JC too. He's pretty cool. Most of them are just like terrible. I just can't stand them.
It was just like this weird case of narcissism for something you didn't have nothing to do with.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like it.
which I think that too. I'm like, man, you don't have nothing to do with it. They actually think that they're better than you because their football team,
Stetson
beats
heard
yours.
me cheering at the
Yeah.
game. He knew.
Yeah, which is funny. But I would act like that too if Georgia Tech was good. So I can't tell much.
Uncle Lou is pretty nice.
No, he's not.
He's a trash talker. He admits that. Which
Uncle's
I can respect that. but
Uncle
he's
is my
not
friend,
nice.
but he's a total douche. So he's a total douche. He's great in person. When you meet him in person at the Slobs,
I've called into his show before
Oh,
I
you
started
have?
my channel.
Oh,
he
you
told
have?
me. He told me he took calculus in 10th grade, which is there's no way that can possibly be true unless he graduated when he was 15.
10th grade.
Which I can tell you also isn't true.
Was he besmirching our academic requirements or something? You know what's funny to me is
Because
how
he compares us to like Notre Dame and Stanford. Like, well, Notre Dame can recruit, and it's like it's not the same thing, dude. I know you don't understand that because you probably don't understand a lot of things, but it's not the same thing.
it's not. The calculus requirement is pretty killer. It is
Yeah.
pretty killer.
And if you took calculus in 10th grade, let's take a test and see who does better. What's the
Yeah.
derivative of x squared? I bet you
Yeah.
can't tell me, which is 2 plus
Shit.
2 in calculus.
Shit, I can't.
Yeah, but you didn't say you took it in 10th grade.
Yeah.
Like someone
Yeah.
should be impressed with it.
Yeah, that is funny. I do have a story. One time, one of my friends goes to Georgia Tech right now, and
Okay.
she actually got in a car crash and got a concussion. She was okay, but she was like pretty messed up, and I don't know if this is the academic dishonesty or whatever, but she asked me for help on one of her AutoCAD projects. I was telling you I use AutoCAD earlier. And so I helped her out with some drawings, and we freaking got an A. So
Buddy.
So I'm like, hell yeah, man! I should have gone, man. I totally could have. I could have gone.
Yes.
Could have walked on. Freaking helped us out on the O line.
Well, I will tell you this,
Ace my AutoCAD classes.
dude. You would have. A lot of people at Tech have a lot of book smart. I'm talking about students. A lot of them don't have good common sense though. Like if they go build this thing in real life, they'd have trouble.
It does. It is hard to translate it to real life because that's what I do for a living. And I work with a lot of people for the movies in the art department. A lot of those people, they just draw in their office all day, and I do both. So I've drawn and I build too. So it's one thing to look at it on the computer, but you have to know what's going to be possible in real life too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Dude, we need to build a set then.
A set. I have
like they have on ESPN. Like
yeah. I have thought about that. I have some stuff in the works, but
snap.
yeah, I have thought about that, and thought about using my my connections and whatnot to try and get some cool stuff. But that's something I've definitely considered. So I appreciate everybody coming in. You guys have been killing it. This has been a great turnout for our first show. We're kind of just winging it. I mean, we talked about stuff for about an hour, and we've just been kind of kicking it since then.
You know what? I will give Savage Dog credit. He did say my favorite wide receiver of all time went to Georgia Tech, Megatron. Calvin Johnson is the sickest athlete I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude,
Like-
he's different.
So
He
I do
is.
appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson, what a beast.
Yeah, and who was his quarterback? And
Yeah,
check,
yeah,
Reggie Ball.
yeah. Yeah.
That is the maddest I've ever seen my dad get.
Really?
Ever. When he threw
On
it
the
away on fourth down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. I get crap for that a lot. I remember everybody was bringing it up whenever Zach Gibson ran out of bounds on fourth down this year. They were like, "He's Reggie
I got
Ball
triggered.
Jr. He's Reggie Ball Jr."
Yeah. I think he knew what down it was. He was like, dude, I am ready to get in the locker
said
room
that-
right now.
He said that in the press conference. He was like, "Yeah, I just ran out of bounds, took the loss." I'm like, "What? What?"
We're within what was the score? We're within 7, I think. We could have tied it up if we
Score would've
scored.
Tied it up, yeah. It was 9-16. What a joke! That was the worst game of football I've ever seen.
Dude.
I was there. I
was too.
I didn't make a video about it because I didn't want to relive it, but I filmed my entire thing there and my thoughts and like a vlog. I do like a vlog and I filmed it all, but I was like, I'm not putting this together. It was my birthday, too.
Okay.
And
So
I
you
was
took
like,
that it happened on your birthday?
It was the day before my birthday, yeah. And so I had to get up, and it was a Thursday night, so I got home at like freaking like midnight or something, and I had to get up and work the next day. It was, on my birthday, it was miserable.
Yeah, those Thursday night games can be rough when you got to work early the next morning.
Yeah, it was miserable. I don't think if there's a Thursday night game next year, I don't know.
Wait, I didn't see the Falcons games. I said Desmond Riddler did it.
Did he? I don't know. I heard that something terrible went down in the Falcons game today.
I don't watch the Falcons
I don't
anymore,
either. Listen, I say I wish the Falcons well, but I've already got one crappy Atlanta team breaking my heart, so I can't take two. I can't take two. So
No, well, I value my sanity. And
Yeah.
I don't want to do
We
it.
say that, and then we get on here to talk about Georgia Tech, but
Well, that's what we're saying. We have room for one of
right.
those.
In my opinion, it's worse to be bad in the NFL because if you're bad, you get stuff. If you're bad in college football, you get nothing. You get So
What do you mean? Like with pay?
you get like high draft picks in the NFL if you suck.
Oh yeah. If you suck in college, it's like, well, you're probably gonna have a sucky recruiting class on top of it.
Yeah. You got to dig yourself out. It's like it's more embarrassing to be bad in the NFL, which is just a shame that the Falcons are so bad. So
By the way, never bring up that Super Bowl in the chat again.
yeah, dude, I was watching that, man, and I was watching it with my wife, who is from Massachusetts, and she's a Patriots fan. So that was.
Is there a worse group of people than like Philly and Boston?
That was pretty worse. Yeah, that was pretty bad. The massholes.
Dude, I was at Tech at that time, so I'm watching the game and I'm like playing it out in my mind, like I'm gonna be downtown. We're gonna do the parade.
Yeah.
And yeah.
God, dude. All right, we
didn't
can move
happen.
on from that. We can move on from that. Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't the Vikings came back the other day? It was like 33-0, and I think it was the Colts that let the Vikings come back 33.
Was it the biggest comeback in NFL history?
Yeah, something like that. It's
And
crazy.
Matt Ryan was a part of it again.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Jeez.
Pretty crazy. Wow. Matt
There's
Ryan
more
doesn't-
things to hate Tom Brady over, by the way. He said, I hate Tom Brady just because of that game. There's a lot of other things to hate Tom
Yeah.
Brady for.
Yeah, so at least that's one thing we can kind of relate to the Georgia fans. They are. I know my man Vic 2 Productions here is a huge Falcons fan, so
Okay.
that's something we can kind of relate to the Georgia fans. The freaking Falcons sucking, but
For sure.
I don't know. Well, anyway, man, you want to call it?
Yeah, let's call it. We need to leave some stuff. There's still a lot more to talk about, but yeah, maybe we'll do it every week until.
If there's more to talk about, yeah, we can do it every week. I'm totally down for that. If it gets a little slower, we can go to bi-weekly. I'm fine with that.
Sounds good, man. A lot of fun though, man. I appreciate everyone showing up and showing out.
I do too. I do too. And I believe we talked about. Do you want to alternate channels? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I need to get with you. I still need to learn some stuff like with OBS and whatnot. Okay. I just haven't done it before. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no problem. So I really, we really appreciate everybody showing up and supporting the show for our first time. It was great. Thanks to Bryce Coon for coming on.
Yeah, huge.
And,
that was awesome.
That was big time. Bryce Coon is a man. And getting him on here for the first time on the Cdogg channel was a pleasure, and getting our show going. So here's to that.
Which, by the way, I reached out to one of the guys from Institutionalized Takes, and they didn't respond.
They didn't respond to me either. What the hell?
Like, let's do something together.
Yeah, I know. I tried to reach out to them too. They didn't respond to me either. So I guess
cold-blooded.
I know. When will we ever be big enough to freaking get some special guests on? I don't know.
That should be our pitch for subscribers. Like, please subscribe to my channel so Institutionalized Takes will notice me.
I know.
That's all. That's why I got in the game.
Yeah, they have a great show. I want them to come on here, but
they do.
I don't know. I guess I have to keep grinding. I have to keep grinding, keep working, and maybe one day they'll let me come on, or they'll come on to me. But
yeah.
Well, guys, I think that'll do it. We freaking had a great time. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. You got anything to say? Anything you want to promote? I'll put your channel link in the description. It's in the description, but I'll go ahead and put it in the chat too. If you guys aren't subscribed to Rec Talk, he has a great channel. Started his channel here. This
started
season.
like 2 months ago. Like, if you haven't seen it, man, check it out. And if you like it, definitely subscribe. And
we'll be doing the show this time, I think, next week on his channel. So be sure to check that out. And go Jackets. And we'll freaking see you guys next time.